Dave, happy week 13 to you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Remember, the fantasy playoffs should not start for most people next week. You're missing out on the extra week of football that the league has, and there are two teams on bye. So if your playoffs start in your league next week, you're either doing something wrong or you're in a really specific type of league where it's not typical to the average fantasy league.
Gotcha. I'm going to ask a question off the bat for a pal of mine named Dave Norton. He's a poker degenerate. He also loves fantasy football. 2 of 3.5 PPR. Do you play Ramondre, Calvin Ridley, or Warren from the Steelers?
I've never thought that there'd be crossover between fantasy football and poker before, Cakes.
It's very weird.
New.
I know, Dave. That's very strange and bizarre.
It's shocking.
Look, maybe even DFS sweats too, Dave. Crazy.
No
Daily
way.
fantasy.
You don't think he does player props, do you?
he may dabble.
I may dabble as well.
Yes.
I think Warren is the sit, and I know it's exciting to think about what he was in the 3 prior games to last week. But the thing that we saw from the Steelers offense is that they used the middle of the field more for passing, certainly utilized their tight ends more. And Najee looked pretty good. And listen, the run game was trending already in the right direction for the Steelers. But the fact that they were able to get going, play action, and just other short throws that helped Kenny Pickett just complete passes and look like a capable quarterback, I don't think that stuff's going away either. And that takes away from Warren a little bit. So I think he's got the most downside of the 3 names you gave me.
Hey, Dave, since you mentioned it just out of the blue, give us your favorite player prop or 2 for the weekend for people that may want to place a small wager.
I actually have not started studying player props for the weekend, but I do a live show every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called the Early Edge Player Prop Show. I know, really catchy, sponsored by Sportsline. It's me. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman. You remember him from the WWE and ESPN? He's our host, and he's awesome. And I'm on with 2 other really, really sharp experts, one of whom goes by the name of Prop Stars. That's how big he is into player props. The other guy, I don't even remember his name. But they are really, really great at player props. And so if you do dabble, check us out. And I think I've had 1 week with a losing record in my last 5.
That's pretty good.
Like that.
That sounds
maybe
pretty
only
good.
3 or 4 weeks this season with a losing record. Just trying to think off the top of my head. Last week I was 14-1-1 against the spread. So we kind of know what we're talking about on that show, 4 p.m. Fridays on YouTube.
All right, very good. All right, let's head to the phones, 800-636-1067, the MGM National Harbor listener lines. Let's just get right to it for Week 13. Who's up first?
All right, you want me to push Josh? Josh can just stay on hold.
Josh is going to have to wait.
That's your pickleball guy?
That's my pickleball guy. Cakes doesn't want to go to him. All right, let's go to Jacques. Hold on. Jacques, there you go. Hey, bud.
Good morning, guys.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, question. Purdy, it's a quarterback question. Brock Purdy in Philly against that defense on Sunday night in primetime, or a quarterback I almost dropped 3 weeks ago, Trevor Lawrence, on Monday night, and I also have Ridley, which I could do that stack. And so who would you roll with between those 2?
I would rather have the quarterback in what could be a high-scoring game, and that's going to be the game between the 49ers and the Eagles. I actually think the 49ers are going to win. Purdy is the one that I would roll with. Lawrence might throw a few more times, just overall pass attempts, than Brock Purdy. But I don't know how much he's going to have to do against Cincinnati because that Bengals offense looks terrible with Jake Browning at quarterback. Purdy, to me, most upside. They have the same type of downside. Easy call for me.
Dave, how comfortable would you be
buddy.
starting Charbonnet tonight if you're in a pinch at running back?
I mean, describe the pinch. Are we talking about like a little 4-year-old kid coming to pinch, or are we talking about the evil, wicked grandmother grabbing your cheek and doing one of these things? And I think that's going to leave a mark on my cheek.
I would say a desperate.
I just literally
we'll go with the latter.
Yeah, I think you're desperate.
You're a real pinch.
Yeah, if you're desperate, you've got to go with Charbonnet. On the plus side, he's going to play 80% of the snaps. He'll catch a bunch of passes. Seattle will play from behind, so that should give him some opportunities to make some plays in the passing game. There has been one running back this year who's posted 15-plus PPR points on the Dallas Cowboys. His name is James Conner. It happened in week 3. It was a weird game between the Cowboys and the Cardinals, And that it was one of Connor's very few 15-point games. And otherwise, Dallas's defense has been exactly what I expected them to be, just an absolute shutdown machine. And so I can't have high expectations for Zach Charbonnet. Maybe he gets you 10 PPR points.
Yes.
All right, let's go to Scott. Speaking of Charbonnet, he's got a Charbonnet question. Scott Arlington, go. You're on with Dave Richard.
Hey, Dave, you kind of answered my question. Yeah, I was thinking about Charbonnet going against that ugly Dallas D tonight, either as an RB2 with Henry, so Charbonnet or Brian Robinson in the track meet against Miami. Second part is Garrett Wilson or Terry McLaurin.
I'm going to take Wilson over McLaurin. I just like the matchup better for Garrett Wilson this week than last week. And, I mean, last week he found a garbage time touchdown. It all counts the same in fantasy. You'll take it. Brian Robinson over Zach Charbonnet. I'm not a huge fan of either one this week, but B-Rob is the one that I think has the better chance to get close to 15 PPR points.
All right, thank you, Scott. Let's go to Ian in Leesburg. Hey, Ian, you're on with Dave Richard.
Hey, guys. I got two quarterbacks, Jalen or Tua this weekend.
I like them both. They're both top three. I'm going to take Jalen. I think he's got just, more potential for a 30-point game than Tua does. Tua should have a good game, to make no mistake about it. He's playing the Commanders. You guys know how that defense is right now. But Hurts has a shot to get you like 4 touchdowns. Tua might only get you 3. Only 3.
All right, thank you. Valdez is saying something about rain game. Is that what you're saying, Valdez?
Yeah, possible rain game Sunday.
Yep.
That might affect Tua.
That would affect Tua considerably, yes.
All right, let's go to Chris, Centerville. Chris, you're on with Dave Richard. Oh, I got to punch him up. By the way, did you realize that we have Dave on video every week?
Yeah, I have realized that.
Oh, okay.
Is this the
Did you realize that?
Is the first time you're realizing?
I did not.
You're kidding.
No, I've noticed it before. I didn't know he was on every week.
I never look at the screen.
Wait. I'm on video?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, what's up, buddy?
All right, so I'm thinking DeAndre Hopkins or Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, that's gross. I'm going to take McLaurin because I think that he's got the better chance to see more targets and to do more with them. With Hopkins, you're almost hoping he makes one big play. Like all of his good fantasy games this year, it's revolved around him making at least one big play. Obviously, there was the game against Atlanta where he had 3 big plays. But that's what you're hoping for with him. McLaurin should be able to make several good plays and maybe one big play. And against the Dolphins, you know that the Commanders should be trailing. Now, if it's a downpour, if Valdez, the weatherman, is going to be right on this, then that could change things. But listen, we just saw a game between the Bills and the Eagles. It was raining like crazy. They scored over 30 points each. So rain doesn't mean it's the end of the world for scoring. But if visibility is bad, if everybody's sliding all over the field, then yeah, McLaurin.
I don't think it's going to be biblical type rain.
No, it's going to be showers.
It has to be. No. Like, regular rainstorm where like the type of rain where it's going to annoy you if you're running from your car into the grocery store or something like that. Mm-hmm. Teams play through that all the time. That's not a big deal. It has to be such a downpour that visibility is affected. That's where I would be nervous about starting McLaurin.
All right, let's go to Billy in Silver Spring. Hey, Billy.
Hey there. Half-point PPR question for Flex. Chuba Hubbard, Josh Downs, or A.J. Dillon?
Chuba.
I would lean toward Chuba a little bit, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say Josh Downs. Dude had 13 targets last week, just didn't come through. I would expect a bounce-back game against the Titans this week, especially without Jonathan Taylor there. He's the change-up for the run game. If the run game, for whatever reason, if it doesn't get going, I think it will. But if it doesn't get going, or if they want to use play action off of it, Josh Downs is used as a short area weapon and a downfield weapon in that Indianapolis offense. Because the catches count for half a point each, and because Downs has some pretty good upside, I'll take him over the running backs you named.
Dave, are we going to see a bounce back from Thielen? He was just dreadful last week. 1 catch for 2 yards. He gets to face Tampa Bay. Those guys allow a decent amount of yardage to wideouts.
So, Cakes, he's been pretty rough for like a month now. And in fact, since their bye week, I think he has 2 games with 15 PPR points on the dot, and everything else has been just ugly from Adam Thielen. I do think the matchup is very favorable for him. I think he's got a shot to get you back to that 15, 16 PPR point range. As far as like a bananas game like we saw from him before their bye, I would rule that out. I don't think that that's something that's very likely.
All right, let's go to our buddy Tom Turley. Junior BJ, Tom, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Tom?
Question, quarterback. Actually, we're in the league 28 years. Started same 14 guys. Pretty long run.
None of you guys are dead?
Somebody's obsessed with death.
I am.
88, same age as you boys.
Very good.
This week, Herbert or Stroud?
I'm taking Stroud. It's not the easiest matchup for him against Denver. That Broncos defense really has gotten better. Their pass rush has gotten better since Baron Browning came back. They made some changes in their personnel in the secondary. It's really made a huge difference. They also play a lot of heavy zone coverage, so they're going to try and take away Stroud's deep ball. There is something you have to keep an eye on, though. If Tank Dell didn't practice on Wednesday, he's got a calf injury. It seemed to limit him in the second half last week. If he's out, obviously that brings down the upside of C.J. Stroud. He wouldn't be a top 5 type of quarterback anymore, but I'd still rank him ahead of Justin Herbert. Herbert doesn't have his full complement of weapons. Taking on the Patriots, I think their defense is still good enough to try to sort of limit him. Don't see him having a huge game against New England. So Stroud is going to be my answer either way, but the expectations can fluctuate based on Tank Dell.
All right, it's 8:13. That means it is speed round time. Describe PPR for quarterbacks.
It's how people ask fantasy questions. They also want to put just what type of league they're in. It's a habit thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess habit. That makes sense.
All right, let's go. Steve, speed round, go.
Hey, Dave.
All right, can't say hey.
Wow.
Pleasantry. No
Let's go
pleasantries,
to
even during the
John.
holidays.
Unbelievable.
Speed round, go.
Jalen Warren, Aaron Jones, PPR.
We don't think Jones is going to play, so Warren is your guy. Hashtag Warren.
There you have it.
Hashtag Warren.
And let's go to Ray. Speed round, go.
Mahomes or Stroud?
I've got Mahomes one spot ahead of Stroud. That's with Tank Dell playing. It's an easier call if Tank Dell is out.
Dave, I'm in a very just unfortunate predicament. Okay, real quick.
A quandary?
Follow me on this. Now,
I can beat your predicament. Whatever you're about to say, I can beat it.
Okay, I have to win this week in this one league. I'm 5-7, but my division is bad, and I can still win the division because everyone has a losing record. Okay, I have to win.
Bunch of losers.
But it's a fixed roster league. I've told you about this league before, where you can only have 4 running backs, so you couldn't draft depth. 3 of the 4 running backs on my roster are on bye.
I hate
Barkley, Hill. I'm sorry. Yeah, Barkley, Hill, and Jacobs. Okay, so Ravens, Giants, and obviously the Raiders. All right, I have to drop one of those guys to pick up a running back that's going to play this week. Who would I drop?
You don't have to drop any of those guys. You should just take the 0. Why would you help? You're going to turn one of the other teams in your league into a major contender.
So just take the 0 at the RB2 spot.
I think, well, I mean, what type of running back are you picking up to replace?
Somebody nubby.
Best guy available on the list is Devin Singletary.
Okay, that's actually better than I thought it would be.
Okay. And I have to win. I can't take a 0 at RB spot.
I know, so you're not even going to care about the guy that you drop. You're definitely not dropping Hill. How much time do I have to give you the answer? Because I've got whole.
You can text me.
Schedule.
You can text me on that.
I will text you with the answer. I'll look at who's got the easier schedule. Oh, it's the Raiders that have the easier schedule the rest of the way. So I guess Saquon's who I'm dropping.
Saquon, I got to drop Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that sounds bad. Here's my situation. I'm in a super flex league, so you have to start 2 quarterbacks. My first quarterback that I'm starting this week is Jameis Winston. I have been buried by injuries and bye weeks, and there's nobody on the waiver wire, not even Bailey Zappi.
Man, that is thin.
But what
and
about
I'm 5-7, just like you.
Flacco must be out too.
By the way, I'm sorry.
I'm definitely out. I'm not winning with Jameis Winston.
My third running back. I'm sorry. It's not Justice Hill. It's Gus Edwards.
Is your worst running back?
Him.
Wait a minute. When you said Hill, I thought you meant Tyreek
No,
Hill.
no, I'm sorry. No, I meant Gus Edwards. Sorry.
Gus.
You didn't cut Saquon already, did you?
No, I didn't.
Thank goodness. Get rid of Gus.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Although he has 2 touchdown games.
We had this discussion a few weeks ago. Saquon versus Gus, and he's
right.
All right, so I will drop
almost
it.
Made like the mistake of the century.
All right, Dave.
It's a very bad situation this week.
Dave, we'll talk to you next
I'm
week.
glad we cleared that up, and now I don't have to text you.
I'm guessing you're hoping that Derek Carr tweaks his ankle, so Jameis Winston goes in to save your squad's.
I don't want his ankle to be tweaked. I want him to win Powerball and go off to an island somewhere, and then let Jameis go in there and do that thing where he makes a W with his fingers and then he eats his
That's very
fingers
fun.
and then he looks like a moron.
He's the most entertaining guy in the league.
No, he's
There's
awesome.
no doubt
He is
about
very
it.
fun, but that was weird.
It was weird.
The W
Dave,
thing was weird.
We love you. We'll talk to you again next week, my friend.
Good luck in Week 13. Don't let those bye weeks kill you.
Thank you. We're going to need
thank you,
all
buddy.
the luck that we can get.